He was walking on the trail, and then suddenly he turned to a random direction and ran into the park, only he singled out one person. And the person just immediately burst out crying and started petting Piggy. He said, "I just lost my best friend. He died at 4 a.m. this morning." Piggy was actually a puppy who started off homeless in the Dominican Republic. He got hit by a bus when he was just a couple months old. By the time I got there, he was almost dead. I looked in his eyes and he had this "please help me" look, and it was heartbreaking. I was traveling with a group of veterinarians, and so they said that they could do emergency surgery to remove the leg, but they also said once they leave, there would be no veterinary care. So for him to have a realistic chance to survive, someone would have to take him back. So I said, "I'll do it." When we brought him back to New York, he had this amazing transformation. He grew much bigger than anyone thought he would. His fur exploded. He started to display this sort of superpower. He suffered so much when he was down there, it seemed like he could sense when others were suffering around him, and he would go to them. If we were walking him in a crowd in Central Park, he would suddenly veer off the trail and pick out one person out of the crowd and just put his paw on them. And they would start crying and saying, "How did you know I needed that?" And in fact, his dog walkers, while I'm at work, would call me frantically during the day and start telling me things like, "Oh my gosh, you know what Piggy just did? This person started crying. Piggy could tell that something bad happened to them." And I said, "Yeah, that's something that he does." Since he was a superhero, we decided he needed to have his own superhero comic, and so that's when we started making his comic book, A Piggy's Tale. He really seems to have the biggest impact in schools or hospitals where children have had traumatic injuries. One of the things that several kids said was, "We didn't think that we could go through this. We didn't think that we could go through all the therapy and overcome, but we see that Piggy has gone through just as much or even worse than we have, and if he's this happy having done it, then maybe we can too." I think that pretty much all dogs have this superpower. It's just that we happen to have a unique history that helped bring it out and helped him to share it with everyone. And that experience and that transformation from being this homeless, injured puppy to coming to New York City and being adored by children, I think that told him inside, I should share what I have with the rest of the world.